The city of Melbourne is undoubtedly Australia's greatest golfing landscape. With 8 Sandbelt courses unlike any other, as well as a number of world-class clubs such as the National, Melbourne can lay claim to being one of the best golfing cities on the globe. And only a 20-minute drive from Flinders Street Station in the heart of Sandbelt territory is the Commonwealth Golf Club. Built in the 1920s, the course is one of Melbourne's oldest. It's hosted both the men's and women's national opens and is ranked inside Australia's top 20 courses. Well established in Victoria, the design has built quite the reputation.
Probably the key to Commonwealth is our strategic layout. It's not necessarily the longest course in the Sandbelt, but it certainly is a course that you sometimes need to play a couple of times to really understand its hidden treasures. We have a lot of short par 4s where the closer you can play to the risk or the hazard, the water hazards or the bunkers, the more you are rewarded with your second shot. So there are certainly options for all standards of golfers. You can take the easy out and play to the wide safety areas of the expansive fairways, but it does often leave you a tougher shot in. So it really does require the golfer to think their way around.
As part of the world-famous Sandbelt, the Commonwealth Golf Club is very grateful for its foundations.
As the name says, it's all to do with the first metre or so within the ground. If you start digging a hole, you just come up with this beautiful sand. So one of our features is not only does it look good from the sand, but it drains very, very well. So if we get a couple of inches of rain, we can be playing again fairly much immediately.
For the club's pro, Commonwealth is something of a national treasure. While distinctly Sandbelt, the course has undergone a number of changes that give it the look of a heathland layout.
A lot of the courses that you play these days, modern courses, have got really big greens. The most challenging part about Commonwealth is the green structures. They're small greens, they're fairly sloping, and they'll have a high side and a low side. If you miss on the high side, you've got very little chance of recovery. It's fairly tight off the tee, and like most of the really good championship golf courses, the architects will put the bunkers in the positions where it's best to come at the green. So if you're a handicapped golfer playing off, 18, somewhere there, you can quite easily play to the middle of the fairways with conservative clubs and play to your handicap. If you're a professional golfer and you're trying to shoot somewhere around par, you can aim at the middle of the greens and you'll be okay, middle of fairways. As soon as you try and take birdies, you've got to hit it very close to the hazards to attack the flags. So you can be as game as you want to be, but if you want to take the course on, you better be pretty accurate.
Showing us around his home track, Sandy gets things underway starting at 9.
The 9th hole's a fabulous hole. It's 133 metres from the back plates. It's bunkered in the front and to the right, so there's no rolling it onto the green. You have to hit a well-struck iron shot. Interestingly enough, course strategy-wise, you've got a tee that faces at the right bunkers. So if you align naturally with the tee markers on 9, you'll be aiming straight at the right bunkers. And if you hit it in there, you've got virtually no chance of stopping the ball on the green if the greens are fast.
On the back 9, we reach one of Sandy's favourite holes.
11th hole's a fantastic hole. It's only 373 metres, so by today's standards, not all that long. Has a sharp dog leg to the right with some really hazardous bunkers. If you get it in the bunkers off the tee, virtually no chance of getting on the green. So generally it pushes you left, which makes the hole play longer. If you do take the bunkers on and get past them, you're generally left with the ball above your feet, and the green structure is one of the most hazardous in the country. All right, the 11th green structure is really treacherous, and if you happen to make the mistake and miss it on the right, you're in for a big challenge. If I chip the ball up here from the right-hand side of the green, you'll notice the golf ball curves right off the green. Today the green's not that quick because we've had a bit of rain, but even now it's almost going to finish over in the bunker. So if you can't reach the green, you want to make sure you miss short left, so you're chipping straight up the green rather than across the green, so you've got a far better chance of getting it up near the flag without going off into the bunker. Here we are on the 12th tee, and as you will have seen on the 9th, it's got quite a unique bit of course architecture in it. The tee box actually faces out to the right. What happens, human beings are quite symmetrical things, and we'll aim with the tee box. So you'll see most amateur golfers walking into holes like this, and they'll align themselves square with the tee box, and that reaches the point where they're aiming off to the right bunkers in the biggest trouble. What you want to do is take a note from all the professional golfers of the world. Every time you're going to play a shot, you stand directly behind your golf ball, lining down the target line, and you're going to walk in from behind, aiming your club face first, and then set yourself up relative to the club face rather than the tee box. So we'll walk in from behind, aim the club face to where we want to go, square our feet off to that, and then we know we're set up down to the right part of the fairway, and you'll avoid the hazards of the right. Look out for that old course architect's trick of aiming the tee box at the trouble, and you'll be a better golfer for it.
Up next, it's the 16th.
The 16th is a fabulous hole. Classic course architecture again, they put the hazards where you want to hit it. So if you hit out to the right away from the water, you've got to come across a bunker. So what you want to do, you want to take it as close to the water as your game. The longer hitters will actually hit it with a draw, sort of around the water. Generally I find it pays to play safe. So I'll play to the middle of the fairway and then try and hit a fade into the green with some sort of lofted iron.
To finish the course tour, we take on a special par 4.
Oh, the 18th is a fabulous hole. It's just been lengthened. It's been a bit contentious, I suppose, you know, lengthening a par 4 over the 430 metre mark. You have to catch that ball right out of the middle. Great swing. The bunkers, again, are down the left, and the ideal aim into that green is from the left. So if you're out to the right, it requires a shot with a fade preferably in there to hold it on the green. So I generally aim at the bunkers with a club that's going to come up just short of them and going with a slightly longer club so the green's open.
A wonderful challenge that is thoroughly enjoyed by its members as well as guests. The Commonwealth Golf Club is a favourite of everybody's.
It's a real family club. A lot of dads have their daughters or sons join, and the tradition continues down the line by that. So the family feel this club has is quite special.
This is one of the great golf courses around the world. I've travelled a lot and seen a lot of golf courses. Commonwealth would be in my top 4. I mean, no doubt everyone wants to go to Royal Melbourne and Kingston Heath, but outside of that, you know, I think Commonwealth's every bit as good, so I'd come to Commonwealth.